this government has been faithfully executing all the strategies to bring us to the point where one day soon we will be able to better address our social and developmental needs. There is a connection between our economic choices and our economic growth. The only way to bridge the gap is to better manage the tax revenues we raise. We have to plug the leaking revenues, and that is to bring growth to the country. Anything that threatens life and the enabling freedoms and security to enjoy life must get the direct and instrumental attention of government policies and action.
And so Prime Minister Andrew Holness has instructed the Ministries of Education and Health to look at ways to reduce or remove sugar from government-sponsored programs in the education system. A public education campaign about the effects of the overconsumption of sugar will also be launched. In the area of road safety, the Road Traffic Act, now before the lower house, will include amendments to ensure that electronic surveillance and ticketing are covered.
This government is not prepared to accept the use of violence in our social transaction.
The Education Act will be amended to explicitly prohibit corporal punishment in schools, and there is to be ongoing reviews of the Domestic Violence, Sexual Offences and Child Care and Protection Acts.
This year, we will launch a national campaign to promote peace building, increase the awareness of the society against violence, and reduce the use of violence in all its forms in our society. To tackle crime requires a national effort, engaging all groups, interests, and communities. All hands must be on deck.
On the government side, security risk assessments are being done to secure banks and financial institutions. Foreign partners are being engaged for training and support in cyber defense. And OPM is designing a plan to continue state operations in the case of an extended period of natural disaster or emergency. On the matter of corruption, Prime Minister Andrew Holness tabled the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption MOCA Bill. This will give MOCA its own statutory mandate with police powers to tackle kingpins and major criminal enterprises in the public and private sectors.
Sometimes we miss the link between corruption and crime, corruption and lack of economic growth. Mr. Speaker, the corruption that furtively slows up and even denies the grant of a permit in order to secure payment. That corruption must be stopped.
Mr. Holness also tabled a bill that will empower the Prime Minister to declare any high crime area of Jamaica as a zone for special security operations and community development measures. These measures will be carried out by way of the well-established Clear, Hold, Build strategy.
I believe that in this bill we have struck the right balance of resolute policing with respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has accelerated the National Identification Project, tabling the National Identification and Registration Act 2017.
The bill is consistent with a rights-based approach to ensure that every citizen of Jamaica can be identified and be known to the state. I have given the NHT one mandate: build a house.
In the 2017-2018 financial year, the NHT will start construction on 5,737 housing solutions and complete another 1,682 houses. 3,800 persons are expected to receive work from this $28.8 billion expenditure. For low-income earners,
I am pleased to announce the Housing Microfinance Initiative, which begins April 1, 2017.
It gives NHT contributors access to unsecured credit to repair or improve their existing homes or to build new homes. The Housing Trust also intends to provide $17.8 billion to other financial institutions for on-lending to contributors. And as of July 1, individuals who've been contributing for 7 years or more will be eligible for an NHT loan to buy at minimum a studio unit. Contributors will also access 100% financing for buying units in a NHT housing scheme, get up to $2.5 million for home improvement and $2.5 million for house lot loans. Special mortgage grants will also be provided to NHT contributors with disabilities as of July 1.
The grant is to be used to retrofit, upgrade the dwelling to make it suitable to serve the needs.
And the Housing Trust will be partnering with the Ministry of National Security to rehabilitate police stations that are in a 10-mile radius of an NHT scheme. Still on housing, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced an urban regeneration program for targeted areas of Kingston and St. Andrew.
The areas identified for the pilot projects are Kingston Gardens, Eastwood Park Gardens, and Vineyard Town. Activities will begin in Kingston Gardens, within the area identified for the planning of government circle.
And
over a 2-year period, the NHT will spend $4 billion on upgrading work to the selected housing schemes right across Jamaica.
28 schemes have already been identified for the Jamaica 55 project. 2,000 persons will be employed under the initiative.
We believe that every Jamaican should be involved in meaningful work. There should be no idle hands in Jamaica.
And so the Housing Opportunity Production and Employment HOPE program has been launched. Under the employment aspect of HOPE, youth 19 to 24 years old will be engaged in the Learn, Earn, Give and Save LEGS project. The Heart Trust NTA, which has been newly merged with the NYS and JFLL, will administer the program, having been directed to develop a comprehensive system of national service corps. 7 service corps have been identified and are aligned to strategic national objectives. 15,000 jobs have already been identified, with plans to provide 25,000 youth jobs by year end.
If we are interested in sustainable economic growth, diversification of our economy has to be an urgent priority.
And with that in mind, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced the Logistics Development Enterprise Team, chaired by Michael Lee Chin. A Free Zone Council has also been established to add new regulations to the Special Economic Zone, and the Customs Act is being revised to support logistics operations on the island. The state has identified strategic pieces of land to develop logistics facilities. On the business process outsourcing front, plans are on track to provide 1.6 million square feet of purpose-built space to accommodate the sector. This expansion, Prime Minister Holness says, will create nearly 25,000 jobs.
Let us, in our 55th year, recommit to making our independence really meaningful and aim for our economic independence.